What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As always, a huge thanks for coming back. We really appreciate you. So today we got a pretty exciting video. We're going to be installing the ZF5 Crossmember that I showed you in a previous video, and it should be live on the website. So that means that you guys can get it. So check out at blowingdiesel.com. The link will be down in the description. So let's check this thing out. And here we go, guys. This is the finished Crossmember. And well, first of all, I know that it looks pretty freaking cool. But the ones that you're going to get are going to be bare steel. Now, that being said, I really like the guy that powder coated this for me. And if you guys want your Crossmember powder coated, we can definitely work something out. Just email me before you purchase this thing. And we'll see about getting yours powder coated too. Because this thing came out freaking beautiful. He did a great job with it. And I believe this ended up being a metal gray, I believe he said it was. And it looks amazing. Like, check that out. I am super happy with the way this thing turned out. It looks fantastic. But anyways, I pretty much talked about it a lot on the last video. Right now, what I want to do is just go ahead, install it, show you guys how it looks installed, and pretty much go from there. Okay, guys, so the first thing you want to do is get a jack. A transmission jack would be ideal. But just something that you can use to hold up your transmission. You want to make sure that you have your wheels blocked and the truck in park. Okay, guys, so to take off your stock Crossmember, it's going to be pretty easy. You're going to have one bolt at the bottom there, and then it's going to have a brace that's going to go from the Crossmember up to the top of the frame rail. You're going to want to take that off. And then my Crossmember was modified for the swap. But yours, if it's still a stock one, should come out to the side of the frame and have, I believe, 3 bolts on the side. So you're gonna want to take those off. But before you do any of that, you want to make sure that you're supporting your transmission. So now again, like I said, you definitely want to have something like a transmission jack or something that to do this properly. But this is what I have right now, which is a Harbor Freight with a 4x4. All right, that should be pretty good. And now we're going to move on to loosening the Crossmember, and then we got to take these 2 bolts on top of this, on top of the transmission mount completely off, as well as these 2 nuts at the bottom. So the top 2 bolts on the transmission, those are 13 mil. And we're using a flex head ratchet. It makes it a little bit easier to get to that spot. And then the 2 bottom nuts, those are going to be 18 mil. And then we're going to move on to removing the actual Crossmember. So like I said, on mine it's modified. So I'm only going to have the bolt there and there. Like I said, on yours, you should have 1 bolt there, and then 2 bolts on these 2 spots right here, and then 2 nuts on the top. And then on the side, you're going to have 3 bolts. Okay, so now with your Crossmember loose, what you want to do is jack up on the transmission enough so that you can take this bushing out. Okay, and now you should be able to take the actual Crossmember out. So I did a few things to make this thing a little bit easier to install. One, I made this a little bit narrower, and then I chamfered the corners. So it should make it easier to install it between your frame rails. Okay. And there we go. Should be about that easy. So now we're going to install 1 1/2-inch bolt on each side. You want to leave one of the washers on top on the bolt head on each side. Okay, so after you have your 2 bolts on the side, They just have to be on, the nut just on, just so that this thing can still center itself on the transmission. So once you have that on, you want to go ahead and take this bushing again. It's got a, it'll say right there rear. So the rear obviously goes to the rear of the truck. And just install it like that. And then throw the bolt back on the transmission. So I did lower this thing just a little bit, but it's still floating on there. Okay, so is mine. Okay, so once you have your bolts on this bushing, go ahead and get these tight first. So now with the bushing on the transmission nice and tight, we're going to go ahead and let the transmission back down on the crossmember. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and put the nuts back on the transmission, and then we'll go ahead and put the brace from the crossmember to the frame. So once the crossmember is in, you have all the bolts in. Make sure that everything is back to nice and center like it was. Get your crossmember tight, get your transmission tight, and then get your brace tight. Then you want to go ahead and zip tie your harness back to the crossmember. I'll supply some zip ties with the kit as well, and you'll be pretty much done. It's time for a test drive, so let's go ahead and do that. Alright guys, not that there was a lot to see, but we did the test drive. Everything feels nice and tight, no weird vibrations or anything, so we're good to go there. And like I said, I'm super happy with the way that it turned out. I think it looks amazing, and it's so far it's my favorite piece that I've designed and installed in that truck. I'm super happy with that. I'm happy with the way the design, the way that it fits, the way that it looks. Super stoked to have this on the market for you guys. I know that a lot of you have been waiting for it for a long time, and like I said, it's now available. Don't forget glowingdiesel.com. The link is down below. Go check it out, as well as all your other O5 Plus Electro Swap parts. They'll all be right there. And again, if you have any questions whatsoever about the swap, the crossmember, whatever it might be, drop them down below. Send me an email, send me a DM. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and I always try to get back to you guys as soon as I can. But yeah, if you like the video, leave a thumbs up. Again, leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you for the next one.